How to fix puffy eyes after crying. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to run through 5 ways in which you can get rid of the puffy eyes that you get after you cry. Let's get started. Very quickly, before I get into the 5 ways, I'm just going to quickly talk about the 2 main reasons that eyes get puffed up when you cry. The number 1 reason is when the tear ducts start pumping out tears, the tears have a lot of water in them. Some of the water comes out, some of the water starts moving into the neighboring cells in the eye region. So once they move into the cells in the eye region, it kind of swells up the cells, and that swelling is what causes the puffiness in the eye region. So that's the number 1 reason for the puffiness. The number 2 reason is whenever you cry, that area, the eye area requires more blood supply. So how do you get more blood supply? The blood vessels, they start to dilate so that more blood can flow through them and reach the eye region. So when they have dilated, it's nothing but a kind of an inflammation, a kind of swelling of the blood vessels. Now the skin in the under eye region is very thin. In fact, it is the thinnest in the body. Because it's so thin, anything that happens in the area beneath the skin is kind of easily visible to the naked eye. So now because the blood vessels have dilated, because they've become engorged, because they've become inflamed so that they can accommodate more blood supply, that inflammation is easily visible to the naked eye as puffiness. So that's all. These are 2 reasons. Now think about this. To get rid of the puffiness, what do you have to do? You've got to drain that water out of the cells. That water has to come out of the cells. And the second thing you've got to do is reduce the dilation, bring the blood vessels back to the state that they were originally in. So that will reduce the inflammation. These are only 2 things that you would need to do. So let's get into the 5 ways in which you can do these 2 things. Number 1 is massage. So this massage will help you drain that water out. So gently massage, don't drag the skin. Gently massage, tiny dots, tiny dots, tiny dots around the eye region. Concentrate more on the bridge of the nose. That is the area where when you put spectacles, that's the region there. That's the region which touches the nose. So concentrate more on there. And also kindly, gently stretch the skin. But don't drag it too much. Don't be too harsh. Be as gentle as you can. So what are you doing when you massage? When you're massaging this region, you're basically spreading that water out, draining that water, pushing that water out of the cells and letting it flow into the other parts of the body. So that's the first way in which you can get rid of that puffiness in the eye region that comes after you cry. The second way is to reduce the dilation of the blood vessels. How can you do that? You can do that by using caffeine. No, not drinking coffee. In fact, drinking coffee has the opposite effect. Use a skincare product which has got caffeine as an ingredient. Caffeine, what it does is it's a vasoconstrictor. What does that mean? Caffeine reduces the dilation in blood vessels. It brings them back to its original state. It constricts the blood vessels. So caffeine, skincare product which has got caffeine in it, is something very effective in the under eye region to bring that blood vessels back to the original state, to reduce the dilation. So once the dilation of the blood vessels is gone, the blood vessels are not inflamed as much, the blood supply comes back to normal. That means the puffiness because of the inflammation is gone. So that's the second way. Third way in which you can do this is by cold compress. Cold compress, applying something cold there, also constricts the blood vessels. So the inflammation that you get in the blood vessels is gone. So anything cold, use a spoon, leave it in the refrigerator, let it get cold and put it in the under eye region. Use a bag of peas if you've got something, if you haven't got a spoon readily available. Use an ice cube, that's quite effective too. Or you can use an eye gel mask. A lot of skincare manufacturers sell that. So you leave that in the fridge and then you leave it in the under eye region. So that's very effective too. The 4th way in which you can do this is by using tea bags. You see, tea bags actually help us in multiple ways when it comes to reducing the puffiness in the under eye region. The first thing, tea bags has got caffeine in it, and we just ran through how caffeine is a vasoconstrictor and it reduces the dilation in the blood vessels, thus reducing the inflammation and the puffiness in the under eye region. So that's a big tick. The number 2, tea bags also have tannins in them. Tannins also constrict the blood vessels, so they make the dilation go away. So that means it reduces the inflammation and the puffiness. So that's a big tick. Number 3, tea bags which has got chamomile in it. That's very helpful because you see chamomile has got anti-inflammatory ingredients. That means ingredients that can bring the swelling down. So that's actually quite effective as well. Now, how would you use the tea bag? You first take some warm water or hot water, dip the tea bag in there. So that activates all these ingredients, and then leave the tea bag in the refrigerator. By leaving the tea bag in the refrigerator, you're effectively converting it into a cold compress. Leave it in the refrigerator for some time and then grab the tea bag and put it in the under eye region. So you see how tea bags can help you in multiple ways. It's got caffeine in it, so that's very good. It's working as a cold compress because you left it in the refrigerator and then you're using it in the under eye region. It's got tannins in it, which also constrict the blood vessels, which is quite good. And if you're using a chamomile tea bag, that's already got some anti-inflammatory ingredients, so that will help bring the inflammation down as well. Now here's the final way. Now if you actually don't do any of the things that we just spoke about and just go on with your daily activities, the swelling, the puffiness will eventually come down. Why? How? Gravity. Gravity kind of drains the water down and reduces all the puffiness, but it takes time. Now, what about if you actually fast, give that gravity a push? How do you do that? Take a couple of pillows, put your head on top of the 2 pillows. So your head is in an elevated state. So your body is, this is the head and it's just this way, slanting down. So that forces the gravity to come into action quickly. So the water kind of drains from here into the rest of the body. So maybe you could put some tea bags or cold compress and put your head, rest your head on 2 pillows. So you've got 2 or 3 things happening at the same time, and that will help reduce that puffiness faster. So these are the 5 ways in which you can get rid of the puffiness. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel at skincabin.com. We make skincare easy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.